welcome everyone to the 2022 Jackpot Ultras USATF 100K. You are currently looking at a beautiful drone shot overlooking our venue here in the beautiful city of Henderson, Nevada. I'm your co-host, Matt Feldick, joined by everyone's favorite flat runner, Skylar Hall. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Super excited to be here in studio with you and to watch some fantastic, pretty much flat running over 100 miles tomorrow.
Yeah, this is exciting because, to my knowledge, this will be a first of its kind in some ways. One of the first live free broadcasts of an ultra distance U.S. championship race, which is super exciting. And tonight is just the pre-show, so we're just getting some of the festivities kicked off. We're going to be talking with some of the athletes here, some of the elite athletes here in just a few minutes, and we've got out on site. We've got some people hanging around, just getting ready to enjoy some of these elite athlete interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a pretty jam-packed weekend. Tomorrow is going to be the 100-mile USA Championships, and then we have many runners that are going to be towing the line both Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday for the entire Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. So going to be a lot of energy out there. Glad to see that we already have some folks out there tonight enjoying this athlete Q&A, and I'm sure they're going to have their own glory throughout this weekend. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of fun for you all at home watching. So thanks for joining us live on YouTube.
Yeah, and just so you know, we will have the chat pulled up, and we'll be able to bring you all in. And it looks like we have Jamil and the wonderful race director, Ken Rebelli, over here. So let's go ahead and send it over on site here with Jamil. Jamil, how's it going? Yeah. And we're going to bring it back in studio here. Unfortunately, we're not getting much audio over there, so we'll have to get that all sorted. But, yeah. So, Skylar, we're going to be joined by, some really great athletes here today. Is there anyone that you are most excited to hear from?
I think particularly I'm excited to hear from Mark Hammond, somebody who has performed extremely well here in the past, specifically at Jackpot, won this race in 2019 and in 2020 in basically 13:04 and 13:05 respectively. So somebody who's really been knocking on that 13-hour barrier at this exact course. He knows exactly what he's getting himself into. So I'm excited to see what he has on tap for this weekend, see if he can get under 13 finally, and if that'll ultimately bring him another national championship.
Awesome. And now we've got Jamil and Ken kind of at our on-site studio in a way, so we're going to send it back to them. Jamil, the floor is yours, my man.
Hey, guys. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, that is wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm here with Ken Rubelli, and he's excited. This is the fourth year of the USATF Road 100-Mile National Championship here at his event, the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival. And it's not just the 100-mile race that's happening tomorrow, which is going to be the big show that we're going to be broadcasting, but there is really something for everyone out here. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your event?
Yeah, so sure. So tomorrow we also have a 72-hour race starting. And then on Saturday, we have 6 more ultras starting. So anywhere from a 6-hour up to a 48-hour. And the coolest part is on a really short loop course, it's like playing basketball with Michael Jordan. I mean, you get to you have the best of the best that are going to be running out here. And an average dude like me could run with them. But we'll have some master level people going for age group records out here. We'll have some blind runners out here. And it's really neat because it's literally like you're on the same little course with the icons in our sport. So, everyone's out here. It's about, pushing beyond limits, and we encourage, everyone as equally. But obviously with this perfect weather, we have no wind and, low temperatures. We're getting kind of giddy to see, like we told the runners over there, all you guys got to do is just go kill it. We'll take care of everything else. So we're excited. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, Ken has assembled just a great field this year, and we have a lot of those athletes out here. As you guys saw, they're all hanging out by the campfire here, kind of sharing a few moments together before they're going to be battling tomorrow on this course. It's 85 laps.
85 laps, and there's 12 grand. There's real prize money. So, there's some course records that could be broken, and I haven't filled out checks yet because I think they might be bigger. So I hope they are. That'd be great for everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be quick.
That's awesome. Do you have anything else you want to add before we bring some athletes over?
But join in tomorrow morning. We've got Elvis in the pink Cadillac. We got the Showgirls. It's really it's a fun start. So if you're gonna jump on it all tomorrow, get on. It's PST time, Vegas, but I'd get on around 7:45. You don't want to miss the start. It's Lucille Ball's pink Cadillac. So
that is awesome. We got the Vegas Sin City flair out here for the Jackpot Ultras. Thanks so much, Ken.
Let's go get real people to talk with.
All righty. Thank you. All right. We'll be back in just a minute, guys, with some of these folks.
Thanks a lot, Jamil. We appreciate it. Pink Cadillac. You had me at pink Cadillac. I'm already more excited for the start of tomorrow's race now. How about you?
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. If you were going to have any event in the greater Las Vegas area, it is incredibly important to bring that true essence to the event. And it's going to be great. I'm super excited, not only for the start, but throughout the entire event. We're going to be having folks popping in and out and then into the weekend. So it's not just going to be for the elites vying for a national championship tomorrow, but it's going to be for all the participants throughout the weekend. So excited to be able to bring folks together after some pretty crazy times over the past couple of years for many folks and really be able to toe the line and see what everybody can do.
And look at these amazing drone shots here overlooking the venue once again. Huge shout out to the city of Henderson for continuing to make this all happen. And I think that we'll be ready for our first in studio guest here in just a minute. So it looks like we are going to send it back to Jamil at the finish line to introduce our first interview here.
Hey guys, we're out here with Dan McHugh, and he is excited to return to this race. When is the last time you ran this one, and how did that go for you?
I ran it in 2019, I think. Don't quote me, but it was at least within the last 3 years. And I finished in 14:30 thereabouts, which was a personal best for me for 100 miles. So I have good memories of this place. And I just love the race directors. They have a really fun attitude, and the environment's a nice climate and a little bit of undulation, which keeps the muscles fresh in a different way. And so I just have a lot of fun here. And so that's why I'm back. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys have some questions for Dan?
Yeah, Dan. So I think that we got to see you for a little bit at Solstice at the end of last year. How did you recover after that effort, and how was your training block coming into the USATF 100 miles here at Jackpot?
It took me a while to recover after that Solstice one. If you remember, I had some blood in my urine, which is indelicate, but it's just a fact of ultra running once in a while. And it took me a while to figure out what I was doing wrong. And I think it was a massive electrolyte imbalance that I had. And so my training was not very confidence building for a good month after that race. But in the weeks since, I've just been doing nothing but getting stronger. And so I'm coming in here feeling pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. And given the conditions you're going to be facing tomorrow, look pretty ideal in terms of weather. Were you able to get any specific training in, hanging out on the roads, or were you affected having to train through the winter in some
Yeah, it's a good question. I live in the Aspen, Colorado area, and it's been super cold there, but I've made the mistake in previous ultras of not training on road when I'm racing on road. And so I wasn't going to make that mistake again. So it was just about bundling up and going and finding places to run on hard pack which I did plenty of. So yeah, I will never make that mistake again. Just soft treadmills for a road race doesn't work. Yeah, so I got a lot of road running in, and I froze my ass off while I was doing it.
Well, it looks like you're going to get some pretty ideal conditions tomorrow. Do you have any goals that you want to share with us coming into the race for tomorrow?
Probably not out loud, because I do myself a disservice when I broadcast really ambitious goals. Talk is cheap in this sport for me. I failed a lot. So I will answer that question with my run tomorrow. How about that?
Awesome. We appreciate it, and we appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Appreciate it, guys. Yep, appreciate it.
Dan McHugh, ladies and gentlemen, and he had said he thought maybe he had run the USATF 100-mile championships at Jackpot in 2019. It was actually 2020 where he finished fourth and ran what he said was his PR of 14 hours and 34 minutes. So big run by Mr. McHugh just a couple years ago.
Absolutely. And the beauty of a national championship is you take the normal sort of age group podium that you're used to in your home ultra. You can also win an age group related national championship. And so Dan, representing the 50 to 54 age range, even if he was a little shy about throwing out his overall goals, he might still be able to take home an age group. But, I mean, he's in position and sounds like he's rebounded well to be aiming for this overall podium. So excited to see what he does out there tomorrow.
Awesome, and it looks like Jamil is really on top of it. He has our next guest already lined up out on site, so we're going to send it to Jamil, and he will kind of introduce our next guest here.
All right, thanks so much, guys. We are out here with Camille Herron, and really excited to see you running this one again, not only after last year, such a close women's race, but also your performances at Desert Solstice and Javelina, just incredible stuff. How are you doing?
I feel great. Yeah, I'm excited to come back and try and redeem myself. After last year, it was a really tough race for me last year, but I've been able to work on my health and get myself back running like myself, and I feel really good. So.
Awesome. Camille, so you ran, you had a really strong effort at Javelina this year, followed it up just a few 6 weeks or so later with another incredible run at Desert Solstice. How are you feeling the recovery post-Solstice went, and then how was the training block leading up to the USATF 100 miles here at Jackpot?
Yeah, I'm getting really fit. The past training block, I haven't been training too seriously. I'm trying to have a really good build up to June for Western States. So I've been putting in more aerobic base type training. But my last workout that I did before this race, I was 13 seconds per mile faster than I was before my world record. So I'm actually in better shape than my world record. But obviously, anything can happen on race day, but I'm going in pretty optimistic and thinking that, I could throw down something pretty fast. So we'll see what happens.
So naturally the question has to be asked. What is your strategy going in? Do you have a particular time in mind, or are you just going to race the competition that's in front of you and, go back to your old road racing days and battle it out?
Yeah. I really focus on running at about 75% of max heart rate effort, which is the same sort of effort that I gave when I raced Javelina. And it's more like a steady long run effort. So I just kind of get in that mindset that I'm out for a steady long run, and I know what that feels like. And I've said that when I ran Javelina, I was focused on being a marble in a groove. Just being, a little bit beyond an easy run pace, and just being steady and just trying to hold that as long as I can.
And so after, having a really close race last year, was there anything that you had changed in this training block coming into this year's race to, hopefully see a different outcome?
I found out after last year that I was iron overloaded and had low magnesium, low B12. And so I've had to work with a dietitian the past year to get myself healthy. And I feel like I've done a 180 with my health, and that's just made all the difference in being able to train and race like myself again. So I would just say, just be able to come here and be healthy and to feel good. That's really been the difference maker. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to focus on let the magic come out and run like myself. And, I'll be thinking about that Javelina race because that was a pretty magical day. And I did not bring my lightsaber this time, but I definitely enjoy like that last 10 miles and, just trying to push it to the finish and have a really good day. So.
In terms of this year's race being 2 months earlier than last year's, better conditions, better temperature, obviously you have excelled in warmer temperatures as we saw at Javelina. Do you have any specific nutrition in mind or a gear plan in mind, given you know this course well, but it will be about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than when you were last out here?
Yeah, I would say we're going to be pretty blessed to have cooler conditions than last year. And so that's definitely going to be a real positive for us. But yeah, in terms of nutrition, I mean, I have the same basic plan that I've had the past 7 years. I take a gel with water every 30 minutes and sip on sports drink in between. And then, if I deviate from that, I just kind of go with what I'm feeling and maybe take some soda, and sometimes I've had some beer out there, but I haven't done that the past couple of races. I've kind of stuck more to ginger beer and Athletic Brewing, non-alcoholic beer. I really like that. So.
Awesome. Well, Camille, good luck tomorrow, and thank you so much for taking the time tonight to chat with us.
Yeah. Thank you, guys, and good luck to everybody out there. Just have a good time and grab one of those snow cones out there. Those are pretty nice.
Awesome. Thanks, Camille.
Yeah, thanks.
And so we are going to actually take a look. It's not a if I can get Bryce to pan back towards the campfire there, that'd be great. But it's not an Aravaipa live stream if we don't get a campfire shot. So we're going to have to, yeah, there we go. Getting a little look at the atmosphere here, the old campfire cam. Sounds like Camille is ready to throw down there. What do you think, Skylar?
Yeah, I like that she was very blasé about the I'm in better shape than when I ran the world record statement. Maybe she's managing expectations. That might be a consistent theme that we're hearing from all the athletes tonight. But look, if she's ready to roll, this is definitely a course that she knows well. And even though last year had a bit of a hiccup there in the back half, she's clearly executed races well since then. So be excited about what she can do, unless you're out there on course against her, in which case you might want to be scared.
Yeah, it was just like in passing. Oh, yeah, I'm in better shape than I was when I ran a world record. No big deal. And so we're going to send it back to Jamil on site for our next guest here. Jamil, who are you blessing us with?
Yeah, I'm here with Zach Vogt from Mississippi, and this is, believe it or not, his first 100 miler tomorrow. So it's very exciting, maybe some nerves going, but he is no stranger to endurance. And when this race was going on last year, he was running a 12-hour in Mississippi, and in around 11 hours, he ran 75 miles. So I think he's definitely worthy to be here, and we're excited to see what you can do. How you doing, Zach?
Doing well. I'm just excited to be here. Super exciting. Coming in, filling the seat right behind Camille to myself. It's like, whoa, that's a nice transition there, wasn't it? I'm just super excited to get to share the course with these guys and gals, topping their fields, and just rub elbows and learn as much as I can tomorrow. So fired up, excited.
Yeah. So just to chat with you a little bit, how was your training block leading in, and how are you feeling kind of coming into the race?
This is really a long time coming for me. I've had like a 2.5 years of consistency, no injuries, like 90 miles averaged over those 2.5 years. And that 75 miles last year, right around the same time these guys were suffering in that heat. It really opened my eyes. If I could cherry pick my first 100 miler, it's on a fixed loop course like this where I can really lock in and tell my friends you're running 100 miles. Like they're hard to wrap their mind around that. And they're like, you're running in a 1.2 mile loop. It blows their mind, right? And I'm like, no, that's the jam right there. So fired up, excited.
Yeah, coming from Mississippi, weather usually isn't as bad as it might be in some of the more mountainous areas, but were you able to get out on roads? You've said you've been healthy. Have you been able to get some specific training in, even if it's on maybe it's the same loop, mental training around your block? How's that been looking for you?
I've got this awesome loop I do. It looks like a whale. I call it the In Search of My White Whale. It comes out being a white whale, and I'll set up on the weekends, tailgate down, and just grab nutrition throughout and do long runs. So I feel like I'm prepared, and I do travel for work, and I've come and run some of Jamil's races before in the past, McDowell Mountain, 50K, and things of that nature. So I think I'm ready. I don't think I'm going to have to challenge hills out here tomorrow morning, that's for sure. And training in the poor man's altitude and the humidity of Mississippi is I feel ready out here. So excited.
Yeah, and Zach, I know that we had gotten a little information from you before this interview. So you're a father of two. I don't know if you want to give a shout out to your two daughters, and maybe after that, can you explain to us how you're able to fit in such consistent training with two little ones?
That's funny. So my wife's over here out of the shot here, and a while back when going for your daily 12 to 15 mile runs was getting in the way of a dad of two and a husband of one, obviously. I made the sacrifice of getting up at 4:30 in the morning and having it knocked out before anybody was awake. So nobody could really say anything to that. And Zoe and Isla, if you're watching, Daddy's ready. Love you guys. Tune in and watch the live stream tomorrow. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zach, for your time, and we look forward to seeing how well you crush it out there tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right,
guys.
best of luck.
Thanks.
Dad of two. I'm also a dad of two, so I can respect how hard that grind is, and so shout out to Zach Vogt for being able to put in such consistent training over the years. 75 miles in a 11, 12-hour race. That's pretty stout.
It's pretty solid. I think he nailed it when he said humidity is the poor man's altitude. I think a lot of folks in the South and the Mid-Atlantic states would agree with that, especially during the summer training. But that's the cool thing about a national championship is if you are a member of USATF and you have the consistent, regular training and you want to step up on that line, you can, and who knows what you might be capable of. So super excited to see what he puts down tomorrow, as well as the other 75 plus athletes that are going to be here on the line. And it looks like we have yet another one ready to roll with Jamil. So let's go ahead and throw it back to Jamil out there in Henderson.
Jamil,
Hello.
what do you got?
Hello again. I'm here with Whitney Richmond, and this is her first time running Jackpot, but she's no stranger to endurance, having done Desert Solstice before. Are you excited to be here?
I am. I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, I'm excited to hang out with some of my friends, and I'm kid-free this weekend. So it's almost like a little vacation.
Very exciting. And where are you coming to us from?
Richmond, Virginia.
Whitney,
So a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, I gotta ask, how has the weather been out in Richmond, and how has your training gone leading up to this? I know certain parts of Virginia get kind of cold, so.
Yeah, well, it's been cold. But I used to live in Chicago, so cold is relative. But 20s, 30s. But they cancel everything if it snows or even threatens to snow. So, any little bit of water on the road, it's just like everything's shut down. So we basically stick to the treadmill. So it's nice to be out here because it's feeling pretty warm.
So you mentioned the treadmill. Obviously, this is 95% asphalt. So how are you feeling that your training has been? Have you been able to get some specific training out there on the road, or has it been mostly indoor? How have you been able to specifically get ready for this type of course?
Oh, yeah. No, I do most of my running on the road. I live in a neighborhood that has like tons of big, wide asphalt roads. So I do most of my running outside. It's just like if the kids I have two kids, 7 and 3, and if they don't have school or it's, the road isn't very good, I'll stick to the treadmill because nobody wants to fall from ice like 2 weeks before your race, So play it safe. But yeah, most of it's on the road.
Awesome, Whitney, and I've got to first give you a quick shout out as a former Illinois resident. The fact that you lived in Chicago, for a period of time warms my heart. Do you have any specific time goals that you're looking for tomorrow, or are you just trying to put yourself in it and kind of see where the chips may fall?
I am definitely trying to get around like mid 15-hour range. I think that I'm definitely in shape and ready to do that. It's just a matter of my like breathing and if my body, agrees with me. But yeah, I think I'm definitely ready for a PR.
Awesome, Whitney. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and we hope you have a great race tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks so much.
There it is.
Mid 15 is no joke. That would be a top 5 time in terms of female performances on this course. So if she can put that down tomorrow, that definitely puts her in a good position to excel. And we'll see where the chips may fall. I see what you did there, Jackpot, Sin City.
See?
We're with it.
And then we do have a question here in the chat that we are going to try and see if we can pull up here. How long is the loop? So for the USATF 100 mile, I believe it is 1.17. And then a bunch of
extra numbers
after that.
Yeah, it's pi at that point. So it'll be 85 laps for these athletes to cover the entire 100-mile distance. We should have a regular timing every time they finish one of those laps, and then obviously they will have to take in nutrition, whatever sort of aid station switch up they want to do, but they will have 84 opportunities to do that as they are going around the course tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely going to have plenty of opportunities on kind of a shorter course, but as we saw earlier from the drone shots, it's a beautiful venue. And so it will be scenic relative to maybe some other short-looped type courses maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. You have a few water features out there. And then when you think of the Las Vegas area, a lot of people just kind of think of the Strip, but there are some very beautiful mountains not too far off in the distance. And so as day turns to night, should have some pretty good sunsets out that way. Sunrise is also going to be beautiful as folks are arriving in the morning. So a lot to appreciate as folks are traversing their 100-mile journey through Henderson.
Yeah, and it looks like Jamil has our next guest ready. So we're going to go ahead and send it to the beautiful town of Henderson, Nevada, site of the Jackpot Ultra Running Festival, to Jamil Curry.
All right. We are excited to be here with Joe Schmall. He's from San Antonio, and this is his first time running Jackpot out here, the USATF 100 Road. But he has been out to Desert Solstice before. A couple years ago, he was 4th there, I believe 2 years ago. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks, Jamil. Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
I'll just take it from you there. Yeah, doing good, feeling rested, ready to go.
Awesome, good stuff. You guys have some questions for us?
Yeah, Joe, first question I have for everyone is how was the training block coming into this one, and how are you feeling?
This is a really good training block. I started working with a coach for the first time this past summer. I've always been self-coached, and Liza Howard, and so she's helped me kind of find some speed again that, as I entered my 40s, naturally got slower and slower and weaker, and I wasn't working on the right things, but I think finally getting some of the old speed back.
So when you ran Desert Solstice back in 2020, you were just shy of 140 miles. So this should be you should be no stranger to running just 100. Should be easy. Going into tomorrow, what is your strategy? Do you have any particular plans in mind, given you are now older and wiser, or are you just going to take it as it comes and battle the folks that you are up against on the line?
I'm going to try a conservative approach this time. I didn't have a lot of success in races last year. A lot of times I went out too hot, and so I'm going to try more of an even split kind of strategy. Take it easy.
Joe, and I've got to ask, Are there going to be any hot dogs at your aid station or any other fun foods? So for the viewers at home, Joe does participate in some eating contests, and we will be excited to share more about that with you all tomorrow. But any off-the-wall foods that will be at your personal aid station?
Yeah, like when I went through security at the airport, they took all my hot dogs. So I'm hoping that they have some here.
Joe, we look forward to following along during your race tomorrow, and thank you so much for your time tonight.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Jamil.
Hot dogs, donuts, tacos, ice cream, pancakes.
Everything's
He
possible.
just likes to compete. That's what it's all about.
I mean, I hear there are a lot of buffets in the area, so when he's done with the 100 miles, if he wants to go hop into a competition, he can get himself a whole host of, landlocked state shrimp at the buffet and get weird with those as well.
Well, I mean, the question I have is, do you think that, mental training of getting through eating contests is going to help him at all at the later stages of this 100-mile?
I think it has to. I mean, stress is stress, right? If you can get through any sort of mental anguish, it's probably going to serve you well in ultra running. So excited to see what he does. Again, another Masters athlete that's going to be out there. So he's got 2 different podiums he might be trying to make tomorrow. Super excited to see what he can piece together coming out of Texas, representing for the Lone Star State. See if he can get if the Lone Star on the flag will be the one that he will have at the top of the podium tomorrow.
Love it. Love it. Awesome, and it looks like Jamil has our next guest ready to go, so we are going to send it back to Henderson, Nevada with Jamil Curry.
All right, here with Stephanie Flippin, and she's coming to us from Colorado. We had her on the Aravaipa Trail Talk earlier this week, and she has been enjoying a couple chill days with cooler weather compared to last year, where she, of course, was your champion out here for the Jackpot 100-mile road national championship. How are we doing, Stephanie?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me.
Stephanie, and so defending champion coming into this race, do you feel like there's a target on your back of sorts? And did you change anything in training during this build-up compared to where you were at for last year's race?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that there is a handful of pressure coming into this race. But I'm just approaching tomorrow just like I do with all my races, like just getting the best out of myself, having a good time out there, focusing on just running my own race, running within myself. In terms of like being this training block being different compared to last year, I definitely didn't have to do as much heat training this year, which is awesome. I was able to focus a lot more on speed this training block compared to last year. So I'm feeling really, really good about kind of like the marriage of my speed right now combined with my endurance. Last year, I didn't really have as much speed under my belt. So feeling confident.
Given the cooler conditions this year and the fact that you have a little bit more of that leg speed under you, are you able to replicate a similar race strategy that you executed last year? Do you think you'll have to go out as conservative given the heat, or do you think you'll be able to, still running within yourself, be able to press it a little bit more early on and get hopefully an even faster time than you put down last year?
Yeah, like that's definitely the goal. I raced Tunnel Hill a few months back this past November. I actually fell a little bit short of my time goal out there. I was definitely looking to break 14 hours. I ran 14:04. So yeah, definitely looking to take, I don't want to put a specific number out there since anything can happen, but definitely looking to put a 13 in front of my PR tomorrow, 100%. So yeah, I'll be trying to pace intelligently, but at the same time going out exactly at the pace that I want to be hitting overall.
Amazing. And Stephanie, I know that you raced Tunnel Hill in the great state of Illinois just a few months ago. Are you feeling pretty recovered from that and feeling good coming into today's race or tomorrow's race?
I am. Yeah, for sure. Tunnel Hill was a great day for me. I recovered really, really well. I was really pleased with that. I raced a 40-miler last month with Patrick Reagan out off the coast of South Carolina. Was super pleased with that. I used that as a training run, but that ended up being, I was second overall, first female in course record day. So that really gave me a lot of confidence coming off of Tunnel Hill and then heading into this day tomorrow.
And having run here last year, having run Tunnel Hill, do you have any specific gear considerations that you're planning for tomorrow? Anybody you want to shout out? Any surprises that you might unveil?
Like, do you mean like sponsor wise?
Yeah, gear or shoe wise, nutrition. Like what's in the cards for you? What have you learned over the last year of excelling at these types of races?
Sure. I feel like nutrition is a huge, huge factor for me. That's something, and Jamil and Patrick and I chatted about that on the podcast. I'm someone that is like, I train my gut just as much as, I'm actually putting in the miles too. I know we all do that as ultra runners, but I really dial it in. I'm like 350 calories on the dot. I know exactly, like, bottles are measured out. There's no guesswork going on. Definitely a handheld runner. You'll always see me with a bottle out here, even though it's, a 1 mile looped course. I just like to have all my nutrition on me. That means like less stopping too. With senior crew every mile on this course, it can get really tempting to just, all right, let's just stop and grab this and grab this. And you're just really kind of losing and hemorrhaging time by doing that. I'll probably be running in like the tried and true Hoka Cliftons tomorrow. It's a hard surface out here. Me and my other Hoka teammates were just chatting about like, is there a real benefit on this kind of a course with a carbon plated shoe? I don't know. Last year, my feet were pretty torn up. So I'm kind of going with more of just like a tried and true cushion, just because that's what feels good on these like hard concrete and asphalt surfaces. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are super excited to follow along your race tomorrow and to bring that to the masses. And thank you so much for your time tonight, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I think that is one of the most interesting kind of storylines or things to watch for tomorrow is, this battle that we're kind of, bringing to light or kind of maybe creating in our head between Stephanie and Camille, because they're both incredible runners. Absolutely. And super speedy. And I think that that's going to be a really cool race to watch unfold.
Yeah, I mean, when you have the ability to see your competition that regularly, if somebody hangs out at their crew location for an extra 2 minutes, they might all of a sudden get lapped, and then it becomes this interesting battle. So really excited to watch it unfold tomorrow, see if one strategy pulls the other runner along, or if they end up going shoulder to shoulder for a while, and then who knows, comes down to a kick at the end of 100 miles. Anything is possible.
And it looks like Jamil has our next guest all lined up. So we are going to send it over to Jamil to introduce the next one.
I was able to find, or maybe he found me, but Patrick Reagan is here in the house. Super excited about that. How you doing, Pat? I don't think you need any introduction.
Hey, Jamil. Well, thanks. Thanks for the introduction anyway. And yeah, I'm doing great, man. Just enjoying my time out here in Las Vegas and going to take a little vacation afterwards down to Phoenix with my buddy Chris Brown. So just enjoying it, man.
Good stuff. Well, I think the guys in the studio have a couple questions for you, and maybe even some people out there watching in the chat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Should I take it?
Pat, thank you so much for joining us. The first question I've always got for everyone is, how was the training block leading into this thing, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, I was on the phone with Jamil's brother the other day talking about just visualization and kind of believing in yourself. I've been talking with my coach, Ian Sharman, a lot about that. The training block was great. I feel like I'd been training at the highest volumes in the most comfortable way possible. I have been since 2019. The build felt a lot like 2019 Javelina, so I feel like I'm prepared and ready to go, and we'll have to see how badly we tear apart each other leading up to that 80 or 90 mile mark. The field's pretty great this year, so I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're no stranger to this course, to this field. You were out here last year in the significantly warmer conditions and put together 14:51 on course. Is there anything you learned during last year's race that you specifically were channeling either in training or in the visualization that's going to set you up for success tomorrow?
Yeah, big problem I had last year is, kind of started in the build to Carbon X2. I developed a really bad calf problem, and that kind of creeped up in the race a few times last year. But something I learned about myself in terms of having a bit of a rocky performance at last year's event was to always run your own race, to stay in your own comfort zone. I definitely felt like I got a little ahead of myself with Raj and Zach last year at this race and caused some mid-race problems. But I think what I was most proud from myself from last year was just weathering that storm and making sure I got my finish. It's definitely one of the races I look back upon and say, like, it would have been really easy to step off that day. And I think I'll carry a lot of that momentum into this weekend.
Yeah, and just piggybacking off of that, coming in this year, are you looking more to, kind of pace yourself early on, or are you going out there to just compete and kind of see where everything lies, with such a stacked men's field?
Or you were talking to Nick Curry, American record holder. Have you taken a little lesson from his mathematics and potentially even going to try to negative split this thing tomorrow?
I'd love to put myself in a place to negative split it. I plan to run a very controlled pace from wire to wire tomorrow. Yes, I think my best runs at Javelina in particular, or really just my best hundreds in general, have come from running slight positive splits. But I'm trying to open my mind a little bit more to being flexible with perceived exertion and trying to keep the number somewhere between 7 minutes and 7:10. I think from training and from the training block, I've realized that's about what's comfortable for me in this kind of weather on a course with this like elevation profile. So if someone takes off at 6:35, I wish them the best. But yeah, I'd really like to run a really disciplined race around 7-minute pace tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing how the race plays out tomorrow and following along. I have obviously the utmost confidence that you're going to be having a great race tomorrow, and we want to just thank you so much for your time tonight, Pat.
Yeah, thank you both. Thanks, Jamil.
You bet. Good luck.
The great Pat Reagan. His mustache, I will say, after this last weekend's Black Canyon 100K live stream, I believe that his mustache may put Eric Sensman's to shame.
Listen,
I'm not here to start running beefs. I'm just here to speak the truth.
He's got the southern hospitality. He's got the southern facial hair. He's not wearing a plaid shirt tonight. I feel, based on his Instagram post recently, I was half expecting him to race in one tomorrow, so maybe it'll pop off. But Patrick Reagan, always a delight. The 3-time Javelina champion. No stranger to this distance, no stranger to success. Even his athletes that he's been coaching recently have definitely had some success. So really looking forward to seeing what he can piece together tomorrow through this 100-mile race at Jackpot.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. And we are now going to send it back to Jamil in Henderson, Nevada.
All right. I am joined by Nicole Minnette. And did I get that right?
Yeah,
I just asked you that. Yep. We're doing great. This is her first time running the Jackpot, but she has had a great year this past year. Of course, second at the Carbon X2 event, out at Desert Solstice as well. Where else were you this last year?
Let's see. I ran out at Canyons 100K. Switched it up a little bit out there. I was at Javelina. I didn't finish. I didn't have a good day there. I got 60K in and didn't make it any further. I think that's what I did. Yeah. I ran a couple local races in Michigan, but that's about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So you just raced Desert Solstice not that long ago. How did that recovery post-Solstice, where you were, I believe, the third female to cross the 100-mile mark, how did that recovery go, and then how was the build-up for the USATF 100 miles here at Jackpot?
The recovery went pretty well. I've only done 200s, so I've definitely never done them this close together. So the recovery, I recovered pretty well, and then tried to get back into things. It's been up and down. It's pretty close to string together 200-mile races for me, so I had to get back into things pretty quick. I live in Michigan, so it's super cold and icy and a little bit difficult to train for long races at this time of year, but I got in the work, so I feel good about that, and we'll just see what happens out here.
That actually is exactly what I was going to ask. Coming from Michigan, not ideal weather, not ideal training circumstances this time of year, and also having to train through the holidays is always just its own bundle of fun. Were you able to get a lot of specific training in on harder surfaces, on roads to prepare for this course, or were you having to adapt either with treadmills or even potentially traveling to other places to get quality training in?
I do most of my training at home. I live on dirt roads. So they've all been snow covered and ice covered, but I'm either running on that or I'm running on the treadmill. I would say it's like 70-30. I'm still outside like 70% of the time, and I probably do about 30% on the treadmill at this time of year. So not a lot of hard surfaces to run on near me, but the dirt roads are pretty hard this time of year because it's so cold.
And then the last question I have is, coming into this race with such a strong ladies field, are you aiming to kind of pace yourself early on, maybe at more of a time goal, or are you trying to put yourself up in the mix and just kind of seeing where everything might fall out?
I kind of have like a general idea of what pace I kind of want to go out at, depending on how I feel it out. I don't want to go out too fast. So if some people go out really hard, I'll probably just run my own race and see where that lands me. I kind of have an idea of where I want to be in the beginning if I feel good. And so I'm going to go with that and just try to run my own race. Typically, that's when it works out best for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we saw from you at Carbon X2. I think that's where a lot of our viewers here on the live stream probably first came to know you and appreciate your running. Should we expect a Carbon X2 shoe underfoot tomorrow, or what's your plan going out there?
I think so. I think that's what I'm going to at least start in, and then I have a backup pair just in case the feet aren't enjoying that after a while. But they worked well for the 100K on the roads, so and I didn't have any problems, and I liked the shoe, so that is what I'm going to start in. Yep.
Awesome, Nicole. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for being out.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
There you heard it. And we've got one Clifton, we've got one Carbon X2. We didn't get a chance to ask Pat Reagan what he would be racing in.
I'm sure we can track him down. We'll make Jamil yell at him somewhere around the campfire. But it is an important consideration. We've seen the rise in road running, more marathon and under, of the carbon-plated shoes. When you start talking about distances of this length, does the biomechanical efficiency or advantage, does that carry over, or is it really a matter of comfort and what you just feel best as you move forward? So it'll be very fun to watch, as Nicole mentioned, what folks start in and if that's what they end up finishing in.
Yeah, I mean, that is a long ways to have, a firmer plated type shoe underfoot. 100K is one thing. 100 miles can really punish the feet. But then again, for some people, it's all good. So it'll be interesting to see.
When you're racing for a national championship, sometimes a couple busted toes, that might be worth it. Hell, even if you're not running for a national championship, that kind of comes with the territory. So it looks like Jamil is ready with our next guest. So we'll throw it back down to Henderson.
All right, here with Loretta Tobalski-Horn, and she is from Michigan, and it's her first time running out here at the Jackpot 100 mile. Are you excited to be out here?
I'm super excited.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit maybe about how your build-up went towards this race this year.
Okay, so I actually started coaching with Patrick Reagan in December, and so we've been working together a couple of months, and so I had kind of come off. I did run Tunnel Hill, about 100K at Tunnel Hill, and so I am coming off of that and started working with Patrick.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just to, Loretta, just to touch on that, are you feeling, healthy coming off of Tunnel Hill just a few months ago, or how are you feeling coming into tomorrow's race?
Yes, I recovered really fast from Tunnel Hill, and so I'm feeling really strong and fresh, and that's why we decided this would be a good race for me. So, yeah.
So as one of our sort of highly ranked masters athletes, as you've continued your running career into into 2022. Have there been any new adjustments that you've added in, or potentially was that a reason why you reached out to Patrick to have him coach you? Have there been any lessons over your career that you're sort of hoping to capitalize on and see tomorrow?
Sure. Actually, a couple of things. I'm really working hard on my nutrition, my daily nutrition, to help me with my race day nutrition. Just getting in calories has been a big focus for me. And this year, I started working with a physical therapist this summer for a pelvic floor physical therapist to work on pelvic floor strength. And I think that has made a huge difference in my running. So I'm really excited to try that out tomorrow and hopefully have a better race, because I was wasting a lot of time in the bathroom. So I'm hoping it's going to be better.
And then this is typically Skylar's question, but I'm going to steal it here. Being a Michigander, did you have to adjust your training at all for a race like this? Were you able to get out on the roads in preparation, for a road 100-mile, or what did that training look like given the typical conditions during the winter?
Sure. Sure. So it's been a little bit of a mix. There's some trails near me that they keep clear, so I'm able to get on those some. I have spent some time on the treadmill for a couple of reasons, to work on my nutrition and also for working on being in a little bit warmer temperature. So turning up the heat in my house, the fireplace, and going for a run on the treadmill.
Awesome. And, we do have folks watching live from home. Obviously, you probably have some friends and family. Is there anyone who's helped you get to this point where you're ready to tear it up tomorrow? Is anybody in particular you want to shout out?
I would guess my husband. He's, a super support for me. We traveled from Michigan in our new Sprinter van that we are working on converting, and so he's kind of my big support here. So that would be who I'd give a shout out to. So, yeah. And then I also want to give a shout out. I also coach, and I have tons of athletes out there watching and excited for me. And so hopefully that energy can kind of push me to a great pace tomorrow.
Awesome. Loretta, thank you so much for your time tonight, and have a great race tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Best of luck.
All right, thanks. Bye.
See you. Thanks.
And while we wait on our next guest there, we had back-to-back Michiganders, which was pretty awesome as a former Midwesterner. But we've got a lot of banter in the chat over here.
Oh, interesting.
About whether Jake Jackson should bring back a mustache. He says that his wife would divorce him, but he is contemplating the 70s pork chop look.
Okay, so here's the thing, Jake. Your wife's great, so don't get a divorce. However, if you can build it into a costume, potentially one where you're also making fun of any of your friends, family, maybe some other teammates of yours, I think you could just do a calendar where each month you just do a different mustache. You do a Sensman one month, and then you do a Reagan one month, and then you can just start adding folks in. You can, just
make stuff up.
Yeah, just start identifying people. You want to go Magnum PI just because you can. And then I'm giving you a new passive income revenue. So figure it out. Make it happen.
I love it. And Jake is on. He'll be leaving soon to be out at the race for tomorrow. So we'll be able to hopefully check in with Jake when he's on site tomorrow. Obviously, an incredible athlete, and it'll be exciting to kind of, get a feel for what he's seeing as boots on the ground when he's out there.
Absolutely, yeah. No stranger to this race at all. Was second here last year. So Jake is definitely going to be one of the athletes to watch as we move forward. But we have another athlete who was not here last year but has been tearing it up elsewhere over the past year. So we'll throw it back down to Jamil down in Henderson to introduce our next guest.
All right, we're here with Arlen Glick. Really excited to have him out here. He's become kind of a staple at these events out west now, which is really exciting. Arlen, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead, guys.
Hey, Arlen, how's it going? Another Midwesterner, might I add, an Ohio native, I believe. Arlen, so you competed at Javelina, came away with the W there, turned around quickly and competed at Desert Solstice. How was the recovery after those kind of two back-to-back efforts in a short time frame?
Honestly, I get beat up more when I have a bigger recovery. I think when I do back-to-back efforts, I don't push as hard in between. Recovery was great from both of those. Yeah.
And then, Desert Solstice being in early December, how has the training block gone for you over the last couple of months?
It's gone really smooth. Yeah, didn't feel like I was in a hurry to get in shape, but yeah, I definitely was happy with my training block. I did everything I wanted to. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, you had some really trackside conversations at Desert Solstice. Are there any lessons that you took away either from those conversations or the day that you had down in Phoenix that you are hoping to implement tomorrow on course?
Yeah, I definitely think my head was in a good space at Desert Solstice. I learned a lot. I really screwed up nutritionally and a few things. And yeah, kind of dug myself a hole that I couldn't crawl out of there. But my head was in a good space. I actually built a lot of confidence from that and seeing how my head responded to it, to coming to a race like this where it'll be a similar format. Yeah, I definitely think I'm ready for this format. I'm really excited to have aid often enough. I think the hard thing is going to be to kind of like pretend that the aid station is 3-4 miles away instead of like chilling every lap. But I feel really good about it. I'm really excited about it.
I think that's some great advice. Pat Reagan was talking about that earlier this week as well. Like, you don't want to stop every single mile, even though it's right here, which is nice. Like, you don't want to break it up that much.
Yeah. So kind of one of my goals is to grab pretty much everything without stopping. So I've instructed my crew that my record, I think, for downtime was, according to Garmin, was 7 minutes of downtime. I'm hoping for more like 3 at this race. So that's kind of my goal, kind of my strategy. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And obviously you're no stranger to this distance. You have a lot of experience at the 100-mile distance. Do you have any sort of, pacing strategy that you're coming into tomorrow's race with, or are you just out there to kind of compete with the leaders regardless of who that is and what the pace is?
No, I'm definitely going to run my own race. I have no idea what the other guys are going to do. I mean, Patrick and I have been kind of like, we went out for coffee this morning and we did a couple loops out here, kind of getting our plan together. I'm definitely going to probably go out slower than some of the guys. I'm pretty sure some of them are going to tear out a lot quicker than me, but I'm cool with that. I love racing from the backside. So I don't care what they do, or if they're like it was at Javelina. I couldn't believe I found myself in the front as early as I did. I mean, I don't care what the other guys do. I'm gonna have fun. I'm excited. Yeah.
Do you, based on your experience out there today and what you've learned and researched, do you think this is the weekend that you're going to set your new 100-mile PR, or are you coming in sort of managing expectations?
Oh, PR for me was back in 2020, Tunnel Hill. I would say my fitness right now is unrecognizable from where it was then. Yeah, PR is the main reason I'm here. So yeah, I definitely want to do a PR. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we look forward to sharing that journey with everyone tomorrow, and we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's fun to be here.
Awesome. Best of luck. Thank you.
And there you have it. And his PR at Tunnel Hill, I believe, was also the only 100-mile race he's lost.
Correct.
To
Tiger Van
my
Etten.
guy.
Yeah.
I know. I know he can still hear me, and I hate saying that, but, Taggart, a fellow EIU alumni, retired ultra runner, so he shouldn't even be brought up in the conversations anymore. But, yeah, huge shout-out to him. But it's crazy that, his PR is what he's here for, and I think that he's definitely, based on his past performances, has put himself in a great position to run under that and have a great day tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. His PR from Tunnel Hill is 12:57. The course record here was set last year by Zach Bitter in 12:52. So even if he is just a shade under his PR pace per lap, that puts him in a great position to take this new course record and potentially get this W and a national championship under his belt to really just just put another cherry on top of what has been a wild last 17 or 18 months from Arlen.
Yeah, and he was, I believe, third in Ultra Runner of the Year voting as well. North American Ultra Runner of the Year. I will put that out there. He just had an incredible year last year, and my prediction would be that he has another great day tomorrow. Where that puts him, I have no clue. Because there are so many incredible runners who are in the race tomorrow, but I do expect Arlen to have a pretty good day.
Yeah, I think him starting conservatively at Javelina clearly worked out well for him. So if that's his game plan going into tomorrow, I think that will potentially serve him very well. Better conditions. You're not dealing with any sort of elevation gain, really, in the way that he had it at Javelina. So really looking forward to see what he does and how that's going to impact the front end of the race on the men's side, because that's a lot of guys who have PRs under 13:10, 13:15. They're all towing the line tomorrow. And it's gonna be wild to see what actually happens on course.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be exciting, and I'm excited to bring this this coverage to the people, and none of this would be possible. I know that we're about to end the pre-race show here, but none of this would be possible without our incredible partners, Salt Stick, the good folks over at Gooder, but also the incredible people over at Koros for helping make this stream possible. And if anyone hasn't heard of Koros, I don't know what you've been doing at this point in your life, but their GPS watches are basically known for having this insane battery life up to even 140 hours, to where some of their athletes have dared to be brave and started races with like 30% battery life left and made it to the finish with 15% still. And so it's incredible. And thanks to them, everyone is actually able to go over to Koros.com, use the promo code Jackpot, and with any purchase, you will get yourself an additional free watch band. So huge shout out to the people at Koros there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a bunch of them on course tomorrow, I'm sure, because if you can't upload it after the fact, did it even happen? USATF would say yes, but listen, you got to get those Strava kudos as well, and get the kudos from the live stream in the chat. So make sure you're joining us tomorrow throughout the day, starting bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30 East Coast, and we're going to be going from the gun at 8 all the way until the wee hours of the morning. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be our own ultra here in the studio, and it's gonna be an ultra out there on course for our crew. So appreciate Jamil and the entire team behind the scenes helping to bring this coverage to you all tonight for the Q&A and tomorrow as we run around Henderson for 100 miles and crown some national champions.
Yeah, and we're gonna bring Jamil on here as well. Jamil, do you have any closing thoughts before we wrap things up? And how excited are you for tomorrow's race after hearing from all those athletes?
Oh, super pumped. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. Yeah, super pumped for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a good show. Hearing just some of the fitness and confidence that you can hear in the voices of some of these athletes it's inspiring. We saw what they did last year, some incredible performances, and we're talking 25 degrees cooler this year. Right now, at least, I mean, there's no wind out here. It's looking like a perfect evening. So I think, tomorrow, right around this time, we'll be looking some athletes kind of nearing that finish line all the way later into the evening. So I think it's going to be just a great day of ultra running. Would love for all of you to stop by, share the link, check it out. We're going to be here for it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and out of your busy schedule and making it all the way to the beautiful city of Henderson, Nevada, to help bring this stream to life. And I think that is gonna kind of do it for our stream. Skylar, do you have any closing statements?
If you're watching this live or you sat down for dinner and it's no longer live, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell right next to it for the notification, so that when we go live tomorrow for both live streams, because that's how YouTube works, make sure that you get those push notifications and you can click that link, join us, and appreciate all 100 miles of this USATF National Championship.
Awesome. Well, for Skylar, I'm Matt Feldick. Jamil Curry blessing us from Henderson, Nevada. That's going to do it for this kind of pre-race show. And we look forward to sharing this broadcast and sharing this race with you all tomorrow.
Have a great evening, y'all.